Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
So it's been a couple years since we've had you on the show. What have you been up to apart from winning these two championship events?
Yeah, so it's been an interesting few years for me. I I was kind of, right in the thick of everything like 3-ish years ago with as far as like Spartan and OCR racing goes. Kind of just like really having fun and doing all the big races and things were super competitive. And I was like really enjoying it. And then I had, kind of like a string of injuries. I broke my arm in it was 2022, and then last summer I broke my ankle. And so it's kind of been like, all right, injury, come back from injury, then a new injury came up, and then like going through the whole like surgery and recovery and all of that. It's been, a lot of ups and downs. But I'm starting to finally feel like I'm back to where I was a few years ago, which is really cool because um when you're kind of in the thick of that like injury cycle, it can be you're not really sure like what's going to happen. I certainly had some low points where I didn't think to ever come back to racing like at all. So to be like winning races now and championships, it's pretty surreal. Honestly, I don't even think it's really hit me yet. I'm kind of like so busy right now that it's just like one thing to the next, and it hasn't really sunk in. So
Yeah. We'll definitely
yeah.
get to the highs in a bit, but what is it like? Because I imagine a big part of your identity is like a competitor, an athlete, this and that. And so dealing with like the injury
Yeah.
and all that stuff, like how were you, I guess, coping with that mentally?
Yeah. I would say every day is different. There were days when I was super positive and optimistic about things. Like my surgeon and my PTs would give me like really good feedback. I was on the right track. But then you'd hit speed bumps where like things were feeling bad again and like having kind of falling back into that those similar like feelings of pain and lack of confidence that I had, prior to injury and like or prior to surgery and like it can be really challenging because you think like, oh, maybe this didn't wasn't really successful. Maybe like I'm not really fixed. And that I'm just gonna live like this forever, which, it's one thing to do as just like a regular, civilian getting through life, but like um to try and train at like the level I'd like to, that it just wasn't gonna work with how I was feeling. And so yeah, it was tough. I mean, there was just like a lot of days where I had to just kind of like force myself to, do the exercises, do the things I'm being told to do, and just kind of hope for the best. And eventually, it did pay off. But like, certainly a lot of bumps in the road along the way, where like you don't necessarily anticipate it. Like they give you that like that paper when you get out of surgery. Okay, at 2 weeks you'll be here, at 6 weeks you'll be here, at 2 months you'll be here, and like you're not always hitting those, set
Right.
milestones, obviously. Like everyone's different. And so it can be really challenging mentally. And I know there's plenty of people out there, especially in this community, who are either going through that or have been through that who can relate. And um, I would just say to those people like keep showing up every day, even if it's just to like, do your little ankle exercises or whatever it is that it looks like on that day. Like you'll eventually get through it. It can be really dark at times though.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like I would definitely not define myself as an athlete, but you're right. Many people in the community will identify with that. And I think it's got to be healthy for people to hear that from the top down, right? Like it's something that everyone goes through.
Yeah.
And then a big life change for you, I believe it was in May. You became a firefighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.